Hello, everyone. Welcome to the workshop of the impact of judo, healthy and values. We are going to start this morning at the beginning of October with this workshop for coaches all around Europe. This event is being broadcasted by YouTube. It's live, but it will be also available on YouTube for the people who could not assist in this timetable. And we have different timetables in this event. I'm going to introduce our speakers of this day. We have Sensei Bradic, who is in Tokyo right now. Komboa Sensei Brada, how are you, my friend?
Konbanwa, best regards to you and our friends and all judoka around the world. I'm
So,
fantastic because I'm nearby Kodokan, so it's the main place in the world for judo. So it's
okay, very well. So you are currently in Tokyo doing some seminar coaching for the IJF Academy. Can you just give us some insights of how it was this fantastic work seminar?
so this is very exciting seminar because the last year I was with first time with coaches with the instructor from IGF Academy who make the seminar for coaches in Japan. So the first time in history, the last year it is the seminar for coaches who make the not Japanese sensei then strangers. So it's Daniel Laskow, Mark Huzinga, and me. So, and this year is the second time, and for sure we will. The story is continue for the next time because there's for a lot of people around the world is also interesting to come to Kodokan and finish in the in the holy place for the judo to finish the IGF Academy in Kodokan. For me, it's a little strange because I was many times, many years in Kodokan every year, minimum one time per year. But last year I was first time with opposite side, so it's a little strange feeling. But of course, working with Sensei in Kodokan and with of course with my colleagues, it's very exciting.
Fantastic, fantastic. This historical moment. So, how many participants did this seminar had?
This year is just it's 14 coaches. The last year is I think 26. So the number is this is not only for Japanese coaches, but also is from China, for other countries like Mongolia and etc. And for sure, for the next year we have another plan because a lot of coaches want to participate. Example, this seminar participate from All Japan Judo Federation Shinji Hosokawa, Olympic and world champion, and he is very impressed with the IGF program. So for sure, is to share the experience to other coaches, and we will continue next year and in the future.
Yes, and currently you're also working in the AJU as a commissioner for kata. Could you give us a little bit insight how is going on the activities within the AJU?
So now we are in Kata Commission now is in the part of education sector in AGU. So for me, it's a logical decision, and we're working in several levels. One of the level is of course, is the Kata competition. This is one sport side of Kata. But more important for me and for my colleagues in the AGU is that we start to work with children because the original idea of the Jigoro Kano is not that is a kata is for the beginners, not for the for the high level judoka, and we want to share the knowledge of kata because especially education value of the kata with children. So if we're working good in the good way, for sure in the future it'll be normal that everybody know and practice kata because value of the kata is a little different than value of shiai, but idea of the Kano is that is the four kind of teaching. One is the kata, second is the randori, kogi is the lecture, and mondo is discussion. So all four parts is very important.
So today we are in the part of Koji and Mondo. but in your actual activities, you are also representing your club, Rijeka Sports Club in Croatia, and Rijeka is one of the partners of this Erasmus Plus project. So representing this club and this partner, you are here participating in this workshop for coaches. So brother, thank you very much for your participation. Let me introduce our other speaker, Sensei Mojmir Kovak from Slovenia. He's currently collaborating with GIB Judo Club in Slovenia. He is a sixth dan in Judo, expert in pedagogy of Judo, and participating in many Erasmus Plus projects together with this European Week of Judo Values, but also with a very, very important project that is in the second round of development, which is called JITA QA. So, Mojmir, welcome to this workshop. It's a great pleasure to have you here. And let me ask you, how was the feedback of the first project that you developed with this JITA QA project 1?
Hello,
hello,
brother in Tokyo. Hello, Nuno in Lisbon, and
hello,
and all other people around Europe. The first project JITA it was super, and because the results of the project was good, we decided we go in JITA 2, where we are more partners, which one of these is AGU, and another one is French Federation. These are two bigger, and then are also other, we say smaller partners, but equal important for us. And we want to make the teaching table for the values, how to teach values, because we all talk about the values, but we don't know exactly how we can teach them.
Very well, Mojmir.
This is...
yes, sorry, but I would like to ask you, and you can share with our viewers, that in the first project, you made a proposal of new values that we can use for pedagogical reasons in our club that can add to the 8 IGF values of the moral code. Can you explain a little bit about that? What are these 4 values that you proposed in this investigation?
Yes. We didn't start with the values, with the moral code, but we started with JITA because JITA is more than 8 values from moral code. And we put inside other values like proactivity, which is how I am active, how I work, self-realization, responsibility, and trust. These are 4 new values, we can say, but this all is inside in JITA. And also we made a plan, or we can say name, for judo mediators. We made the programs, how the young judoka can become a judo mediator who can teach other people how to teach the values and how to teach the meaning of JITA.
Okay, Mojmir, very interesting. This will be the topic of your presentation today for this workshop of the
Yes.
impact of Judo for health and values. Now, I will just make a very quick presentation of the full program of this Erasmus Plus project that is also part of the supported projects of the AJU. But of course, I would like to introduce myself for the people that don't know me. My name is Nuno Delgado. I am a sixth dan in Judo. I am the president of the Judo School Nuno Delgado. These are the three partner schools and clubs that created this Erasmus Plus project. And currently, I'm also working for the European Judo Union as one of the commissioners for Judo for Children. I would like to tell our guests that you can interact with us, make some questions, some remarks that we will use during our time to questionnaires. So now I will pass on to a presentation of the program of this event. For us, it's very important that you understand the opportunities related to this Erasmus Plus projects. In specificity, this project is a non-profit European sports local event type 1. This means that the project is made by three partners from three countries, and they are connected by their federation in this case, and also the Olympic Committee in Croatia. The European Judo Union is also a partner of this initiative, and our event is to promote the European Week of Judo Values. This European Week of Judo Values that finished yesterday, the 30th of September, it's an opportunity for all of us to develop different activities to promote Judo, its educational and ethical values, but also the healthy lifestyle. This event is going in the same calendar as the European Week of Sports. This is a European-wide organization that is being developed by the Commission of the European Union. It's been 9 years it's going on all around Europe. I am sure that many of the participants already have some kind of relationship with this event. It's a very important event for public funding and for all the governments around Europe. If you did not have the chance yet to participate in one of the activities of the European Week of Sports, please follow the European website where you have all the information related to this big European event. So in our project, I would like to share with you some of the content. We created this European Week of Judo Values as a startup project with 3 European clubs coming from Portugal, Croatia, and Slovenia. The clubs are Escola de Judo Delgado, RS from Croatia and Rijeka, and also GIB from Slovenia. The general goal is to promote ethical and healthy values coming from Judo and using the 8 values of the Judo Moral Code. This year we had a very big event on the 28th of September with the theme Play for Peace. We already had some federations and some clubs contacting us from this broadcast event that was streamed in simultaneous in 3 cities, and that was broadcasted by the AJU. So all of this to promote Judo and this important dimension that is much more than a sport. All around the European Week of Sports that started last Saturday, the 23rd of September, till the 30th of September, we had developed many different activities within these 3 cities, and we hope that next year other countries, other clubs, other federations can get involved in this great movement. September is a very important month for all of us because it's the time when we want to promote our judo schools, and we want to promote our judo programs all around the judo community and schools. And it's a great opportunity to share the values of judo that will help us to bring more practitioners to our sport. So I'm sharing the program of each city. As you can see, all of the different cities had activities starting from the 23rd of September till the 30th of September. And today is our workshop for coaches, where we will also present the alpha version of e-learning program that we will have ready in October for all of you to use and to follow this e-learning program about the judo values. So this program will continue until the end of December, until the end of the year, where these 3 clubs will prepare a legacy plan and will continue to interact with the different national federations and clubs, so we can really create this big movement all around Europe and have this European Judo Week of Values event that can go all around Europe, and that could spread this important legacy that we want to present. So, having this in mind, we will start our workshop for today. I'm going to pass the word to our first speaker, who is actually in Tokyo, for the people who are joining in right now. Sensei Slavisa Bradic is going to make his presentation on a theme that he's been studying and developing his master thesis that he concluded this summer. And the theme is around self-control and emotional control in judo. So, Slavisa, I pass the word to you, and we will share the screen with your presentation. And Hajime.
Thank you, Nino. Okay, everybody see it's the full screen or just part? It's a full screen?
Yes, this full screen is on.
Full screen.
Okay. Okay. So today I speak about self-control and emotional control in judo. The self-control, many times we speak about self-control, and that is judo good for the develop the self-control, not only for children, but for the adults. And during the presentation, I tried to explain which connection is between the emotional control and self-control. So I need to, sorry. Okay. So, original idea of Jigoro Kano for judo, the ultimate goal is that during the practice judo, we maximally develop our physical, psychological, intellectual, and moral qualities, and to be more valuable member of social community. So, like we see, the idea of judo is not fighting idea, not kill, not doing the injury or hurt someone, that we throw to the practice judo develop. Why? Because like we know, the Jigoro Kano is first practice jiu-jitsu. So during the practice jiu-jitsu, Kito-ryu and Tenshi Shinryu, this is originally make it for the fight and for the battle, for the self-defense, and for the of course for the use in the daily life, in the dangerous situation. But also see that is the another value during the practice martial arts. And during the time of Kano, when he studied, the big impact for him is the not only Eastern philosopher, then Western philosopher, and the psychologists like Herbert Spencer. And if we compare the value of for the human development for Herbert Spencer, is the very similar than the Jigoro Kano value for the judo practice. So it's maximum develop our physical potential, psychological potential, intellectual and moral potential. So this is very interesting, and who want to research more, he can find a lot of interesting articles in the internet and of course the book and etc. So what is the important that like we know, the Kano is very young in this time when he started judo, opened the judo school, because through to the experience in different martial arts and through to the research different martial arts, he see that is something more than only fight. And what is the interesting that he is very young, so it's during the study he opened the new school, the Kodokan Judo, and changed name Judo. Before is the Jujutsu. Jujutsu means something when we practice for how to use. Example, if we practice just how to self-defense, this is a Jujutsu. So the technical basic is the same, similar. But Do means that we practice the martial arts elements and combat elements for the self-development. This is a difference between Do and Jutsu. Okay, sorry. Okay. So this is short introduction. Of course, Kano is the very educated person, and it's very important that, example, 1895, the government opened Butokukai. Butokukai is one government body who want to control all martial arts. And Kodokan is the independent at this time, but the government established the commission for to make the rules for the practice, like kata, randori, shiai, etc. And the big meeting is this time is 1906 is in Butokukai in Kyoto. Also today exists Butokuden. This is a very interesting place. Who want to research is all martial arts is there, and the chairman of the all masters for different style of jujutsu and kendo and other martial arts is the Kano, because he is very educated person, and he have a big authority in Japanese society, because he respect the tradition and he want to keep originality of martial arts for the future. But he know that he need to change some things, because the martial arts in the end of the 19th century is going down, is not too much popular because of the brutality of the training and not methodological way and etc. So he changed the way to Do, and after that is sorry, okay, I don't know if you see the presentation. It's okay.
Yes, it's going. Okay, thank you, brother.
Sorry.
If you change it to a presentation mode, it will be easier for our participants to follow. Just click on the
yeah, because I have two screens. So
okay,
I have two screens.
Now,
okay.
Now it's perfect. Thank you very much.
Okay, and you see the starting position about the behavior?
Yes.
Good. Okay. Okay, good. Because I need to go. I need to little fast go through to the presentation. So okay. So Kano is a very important person, not only for the judo, but also for the whole martial arts in Budo, and he have a special position in the Japanese society. Like he changed a lot about education and a lot about the physical education. He is the first member of Olympic Committee from Asia, and he is very close with Pierre de Coubertin. So a lot of idea today we can find in museum, a lot of idea about the value of the judo is the throw to the letters between the Pierre de Coubertin and Gigolo Kano. We can find and see that is the lot of Olympic idea is very similar than judo idea. Okay, but we back from the topics. In topics, what is the in judo that have a biggest impact for the behavior than other sports? So, like we know, for the self-control, the responsible is the emotional control, and because through to the emotion, we're doing the something like a guest or some behavior or some speech or something else. So if we control the emotion, it's easy to control the behavior. But responsible for the emotional control is the emotion regulator. And later I explained during the judo practice what the regulator and emotional control and self-control process working. So rules for behavior. Of course, it's we need to know the rules of behavior, because if you don't know, we cannot follow the rules, and awareness for value of the rules of behavior. Okay, and next, Suzanne, next. Okay. Okay, following the training rules. You see the slide. Follow the training rules.
Yes.
Yes, you can continue.
Okay, good. So it's nothing strange, because every sports have a rules, and everybody follow the rules, and trained compliance rules help develop emotional control, and like we know. So if you in this level, everybody say okay, but every sports have a rule. So why is the judo better than other sports? So Suzanne, next, please. So behavior in judo is it's very strict, and starting from the tradition in Japan, and from we need to back from Bujutsu and Budo, and of course it's very strictly until today. Some rules is the same, not changed, about the the behavior in dojo, behavior between the participant in training, for the teacher, bow, traditional bow, etc. Just one small mention about the bow. We know that is the bow is a respect when you're coming, but also have a lot of meaning of the bow in judo. One meaning, of course, when you're coming to the dojo, we give the bow because we respect the place when we develop our physical, mental, and moral and psychological performance. But also we respect someone prepared the dojo for us. Somebody prepared for the children, parents coming to dojo and driving children to dojo. So to training. So we give the bow respect. First bow is the respect of all around the dojo, and in dojo, this is a facility for training. Second meaning is when you give the bow to the sensei and during the training is the respect. Of course, we give respect for the teachers, because teachers teach us and share knowledge with us. And teachers, sensei, give the bow to students because he respects the students coming to learn and follow the instructions. But example for this topic is very important during the shiai. What is the meaning of the bow? When you're coming to the line and the referee say hajime, we're doing the bow. Between this bow, we are of course nervous and thinking about who win, who lose, what we're doing, and etc. But we keep in the line. We keep the maximum self-controls because we need control during the fight. And when we do step inside the fight, after that we're just thinking about the fight. So we use the maximum judo techniques and principles to win. And of course, during the fight, someone wins, someone lose. When we back in the line, we give the bow to the opponent, and after that we back in the normal stage. So this line and this bow, meaning that is the before the line is the border when we use the maximum self-control. Self-control is in the winning position, or self-control in the losing position. So this is one interesting thing about bowing. Okay. Next. Rules in sport. Of course, like I said before, every sports have a lot of rules, and all the time is the society appreciate and like it, and some sports and some spectators follow the rules, like we know. But actually, during around the world, we know that is not the same. Example, football spectators in Europe or football spectators in Japan is a completely different mentality and different behavior. But and also during the sport, like we know in some sports, Suzanne, please, next is the picture. Like we see, example, decision of the referee is produced sometimes not the reaction when we follow the rules and say, oh, this is, we have emotional control, self-control, and we control the emotion during the decision of the referee. You see the slide with the football?
Exactly.
Yes.
Okay. So this is one example what happened when you give some decision in the sport like football. Okay, of course, in the end you cannot punch the referee, but definitely you don't respect the decision of the referee. Okay, next slide, please. Same is the other sports. Every sports, handball, water polo, volleyball, basketball, have a different rules, and all the time is the goal is the following the rules, maximum following the rules. Of course, there is the fair play. There is a lot of support for the good behavior, but during the practice, like we know, it's sometimes we're going outside of the rules and in the edge of the rules, etc. Next slide, please. So in combat sports, several ways how to win. Example, we can win with complete destruction of the opponent. We can win the partial repayment of opponents, and wins with symbolic destruction of opponent. Suzanne, please, next slide, because the pictures show the, and one time more. Okay, put it a few times that you see the old pictures of. You see all pictures of?
Yes, we see all the examples.
Yeah. So example, this is a completely destruction, like in boxing, MMA, or the win. No, that meaning that is you are completely destroyed the opponent. So it's out of consciousness or knocked down or something else, but also is the kickboxing and taekwondo, karate is the semi-contact or light contact, or etc. And some like judo is the fighting with symbolic destruction. So symbolic, actually, what we do, arm lock or choking is the symbolic because we stop when is the opponent give up. But example in wrestling is very interesting because it's very difficult today to find symbolic destruction in wrestling. So actually, originally wrestling is the combat sport, of course. But if you want to find what is the martial, what is the combat in wrestling, of course, is the performance is amazing and the movement. But the throw. If you go to the back, you cannot find too much symbolic fighting situation. But this is a beauty of the sports, because every sports it's gives some a different value, and of course different emotional and cultural and other mentality. Okay, next slide. For judo, we can win in 4 different ways, like we know. It's Nagewaza, winning by throw. The symbolic is the destruction because you throwing opponent down on the back, and of course osekomi waza, meaning that you someone control it in the floor, in the mat with immobilization. And of course, if you're controlling someone, you can in the old time before if you remember in jiu-jitsu, you can use the weapons or something else. So this is a definitely symbolic that you control it, your partner maximum. Kansetsu waza, you want to break the arm, because in judo today is allowed just in the elbow joint, use the arm lock. And shimewaza is the choking. but we forgot many times that shimewaza actually, if you do full shimewaza after the coincidence must be lose the consciousness and death. So actually, it's very, we use the, during the training, we use the very dangerous techniques. But of course, like we know, judo is the safety sport. So next slide, please. Why? Because during the practice judo, we always practice in different psychological and mental stage. So example, when we fighting, example, arm lock, okay, or choking. Nuno attacked me in the choking. So during the, if you want to really choke me, of course, during the combat, he cannot be, mental stage cannot be fun stage, you know, so he need be maximum aggressivity, because aggressivity is the part of the fight. And he want to real choke me, not, you know, for fun. So I speak about competition, of course, now. Also in the randori. But in the moment when he applied the choke and the situation when I'm on the edge because I'm opponent, his full power use the maximum focus, use the techniques to choke me. And when he see that I give up or referee give the ippon, he release his choke or his techniques and back in the normal stage for the very fast. So this is one example how we develop, how we control the very aggressivity stage and very emotional, you know, all emotion working very hard, because you don't forget you are in fight. Around you is spectators, of course, lot of other elements. So the stage is very high level of emotional regulator and control. Next slide, please. So this is the pictures. You see the pictures?
Yes, we see perfectly.
Yeah. Okay. So this is a classic example. You know, the blue one who want to shimewaza. Of course, he doing maximum power and focus and aggressivity to want to finish, to apply the techniques. And of course, but when he give up, he is back in the normal stage, and very soon, and after stand up, he's the opponent is not enemy, he's a friend. And when we practice in the edge all the time, develop the aggressivity and back in the normal stage, we develop our emotional regulator and emotional control, and of course the last part, self-control, start to be strongest and strongest. Okay, next slide. It's opposite is the situation where we defeat emotional state in process in judo, because I speak that Nuno choked me, and what I feel that is, of course, I want to defend. I also give the maximum power and focus to try to defend against the techniques of opponent. And but in the moment when I feel that is my health, and then I lose consciousness or pain or something else, I agree, I achieve that is, I lose the fight, he is win, and I tapping, and after that again I back. Of course, I may be a little sad, but when I stand up, I give the bow, and Nuno is not my enemy, you know, because what happened inside the fight is just our judo, my judo and his judo. And when we go back, of course, later we go to drink, and nothing between us. So because for this reason, can you imagine now we practice during the randori many times, attacking full power and with aggressivity and very high level of psychological stage, and for the spectators, for the coach, for the public, for the important results for you, and blah blah blah. But of course, after that we are friends. So during the practice on the edge, our control and self-control and emotional control is very start developing and growing. Okay. Next stage. This is an example of arm lock, of course. Of course, Tori, who attacked the Jujigatame, doing full power, so no safety way, you know, of course, the full power. And Uke, of course, when she feeling that is lose, she give up and nothing. But after that, she back in the normal stage. Next slide. This is like speak before, so it's very important that that we know that during actually the best practice for any kind, if we practice on the edge. What means on the edge? Because if we are in a comfortable, if we are in easy situation without any stress, without that, we are only feeling that it is not necessary, then something develop. But if we practice our regulator, especially emotional regulator during the judo activity, in randori or in shiai, of course, it's very important that we stay controlled the emotion, because emotion controlling the behavior, and also this is self-control. Especially because if you have a big self-control, you can use the good focus and you can use the property techniques in a property situation. Okay, next slide, please. Like say before, because we use the judo is develop better emotional control, because we are always practice in the edge. Of course, we follow the rules. It's a lot of different elements, but especially during the practice like randori and shiai, we always develop our self-control. Okay, next. Now is the typical, you see the pictures?
Yes, very well.
Yeah, okay. This is a picture.
Yes.
Sometimes show the better example than explanation, because like you see before in choking in shimewaza in judo, when you tapping tori immediately release and stand up, nothing special. Okay, maybe raise the hand and say yes. But in example in MMA, usually for the after tapping, the referee or judge need to jump and release the tori. Why? Because the emotional control and self-control is very low. So aggressivity is very high, and without emotional control and the self-control, you cannot control your aggressivity. So I don't know what happened without then the referee don't jump and release the hold. So this is a good example. What is the difference between emotional control in judo or in other sport? Okay, let's do that. And this is a way of self-control during the judo practice. So for the beginning, we start to ethics in dojo and the hierarchy. Of course, if I'm 53 years old and I start practice judo, if I'm white belt, I stay last in the row. Of course, during the practice, you different emotional control and behavior and the rules. And also, I don't speak now, but also the kata is very important, especially for the adolescent, because during the kata activity, you need to maximum focus in for every element. What is the next? What is the next? What is the next? And so it's a very good mental exercise, not only physical. And this especially impact for the self-control and the focus is for kata is for adolescent. So maybe it's a good thing about for the future. Okay, next. And conclusion. I try to explain what is the emotional controls connected with self-control, and what happened in judo practice when you for the emotional control and self-control. So important to remember that is during the judo practice we always actually the respect. We know the other elements of moral code and what is the psychological stage in during the practice. But also when we practice together, we always develop our emotion working very, very hard, very with power. And of course, we start with the children for the like games, must be fun and etc. But when you're growing in the age of cadets, juniors, and seniors, we change actually not only in judo but also in whole life. Adolescents start to growing and develop psychological elements in body. So judo is definitely good for all, of course. And but now we speak about self-control definitely is good for self-control. Just comparison with example, if you're training, I don't speak about bad or the good sports, but example, if you are a policeman, if you practice kickboxing or box, and if you practice judo, it's a completely different behavior in the street, because if you practice judo, you know what is the limitation of your techniques. If you practice box, the limitation is if is the opponent in knockdown. You know? So this is a different, it's very clear example what is the different with if you have a self-control and if you don't have a self-control. Okay, good. And some questions?
Yes, brother, I know that you are strict with time because you are leaving the wonderful city of Tokyo, but I would put opportunity here for one question, which is from one of our participants. And the question is quite simple, but very important. Talking about emotional control and about the benefits of judo, do you think we should use this findings from science to express that judo is a better martial arts and a better sport and education system than the others, or that we should look inside the judo community and use these tools in a better way so people can understand really where judo can make its impact? Because as this commentator is explaining, sometimes we try to make judo like different sports for all the other ones, and that could be a problem to put ourselves above other sports. What is your consideration about this, Slavisa?
For sure, I don't like to. I think everybody nobody like to speak about better sport and not better sport, but we are different, and every sport is different. It's if you go to restaurant, you know, you have a table with all possibility of food. You choose what you like. So for I think that is important that we speak and we present what is the value of our sport. We don't need to compare with other sport, because a lot of people practice kickboxing, boxing, and so because he want to follow. You know, is not everything for everyone. You know, so it's some. I was when I was young, I swimming 4 years, and but it's not for my psychological, mental activity, because I watching the one line and swimming, you know. But for some kids and some people it's fantastic. So we just need, for my opinion, without comparison, what that we are better than other sports. We just need to share and show the judo value is because it's good for the basic sports for children. It's learn a lot about behavior. During the practice, it's maximum self-control is safety, because we know that we, especially you know, when you work with children, we're doing a lot of methodological way for the safety way, how to learn to fall, how to help each other. So this is a benefit of our sports, and for sure we need to share with our society, and people can choose. This is my opinion.
Yes, very well. So now you're leaving Tokyo, and just to understand your calendar, where are you going for the next educational seminar around the world? Where is your next stop?
I living like James Bond. I just different because I have a luggage. James Bond never have a luggage, and and James Bond have a lot of girls around him. I'm not. I have just my beautiful wife. So my next trip is the Rome next week.
Next week. So Slavisa, yes. Have a great trip back home, and I'm sure that everybody is very keen to see you in Rome and continue this fantastic work. And thank you so much for your presentation. It was very, very, very special and very well documented to talk about our sports. And like you said, we have to continue to look inside and continue to develop our educational system and improve it in the best way, following our DO. Despite what other sports are doing, we can always contribute, and we have contributed a lot for the development of the educational side of all martial arts sports. So from all the participants, a big thank you for Slavisa Bradic, and thank you very much for your time, and wish you a great trip back home to beautiful Rijeka city. This is the nice.
Thank you very much, and nice. Yes, thank you very much, and best regards for all of participants and all judoka, and see you soon, of course. See you.
Thank you very much.
Bye.
So everybody, now I'm going to pass for another subject which is very, very interesting. Everybody has followed the different information about the UNESCO giving judo a special place for a sport that is good for developing children all around the world, but actually it's quite difficult to find the original statement of UNESCO for us to use and to promote the right statement that UNESCO has developed for judo activity. So now in our workshop, we will present a video made specifically for this project, and it's a statement made by the Assistant Director of the General Social and Human Science of UNESCO, Mrs. Gabriela Ramos. And this statement will be available for all of you and all of us to use and to recommend judo for families and for educational agents and medical agents also, because it's really a statement made by UNESCO. It's quite rich, and we will share it with all of you in this workshop. So I ask Susanna, please, can you pass the video on our YouTube channel, please?
Ladies and gentlemen, sports friends, I'm pleased to join you in commemorating the European Week of Judo Values. As many of you have witnessed, judo is not only a sport, but also a path for personal growth and development. Due to its power to convey educational values and values in general, judo can be a life changer for everyone who has a chance to practice it to its full potential. Respect, friendship, politeness, self-control. Judo's core values are essential to building more inclusive communities. As the United Nations lead agency for sports and physical education, UNESCO is committed to advancing these values and using sports as a catalyst for peace and sustainable development. Sport, however, is still an underutilized tool, but it has the power to change and shape systems, change societies, and change outcomes for people. And for this reason, and to address global crises in physical inactivity, on mental health, on inequalities, UNESCO launched the Fit for Life flagship initiative. And Fit for Life leverages sports to drive non-sport outcomes in education, youth empowerment, employability, equality, and inclusion. Through Fit for Life, UNESCO aims to encourage more people to participate in sports like judo, which can enhance mental and physical well-being, decrease anxiety, and boost self-confidence. Data indicates that participation in sports increases confidence and reduces anxiety in 80% of women and girls. But as judo is still a male-dominated sport, let's join forces to break gender gaps and encourage women participation in this martial art which thanks to a raised ability to self-defense will make them feel more secure with higher self-esteem. Practicing martial arts helps children and young people to develop discipline and valuable life skills necessary for building peaceful societies that value diversity. And for many years, UNESCO has been working to protect and promote traditional sports and games, such as Judo. Traditional sports and games are recognized by UNESCO as intangible cultural heritage for the ability to promote intercultural dialogue, youth empowerment, gender equality, and ethical sports practices. They reflect our history, our roots, our traditions, and are part of our cultural identity. In today's increasingly globalized world, it is crucial to remember our roots as we navigate towards the future. This week, let's inspire more people to practice Judo and join the 40 million practitioners who are already benefiting from it across the world. And through our flagship Fit for Life, let's unite to promote sports as an efficient solution for the challenges we face.
Wow, very, very strong statement that we together found the way to reach UNESCO and to grab this opportunity to have the real words from its main representatives. I encourage all of you to use this footage and to extract the best parts of this statement that we can use on our daily life to interact with the different communities to explain, because one of the big barriers of Judo is still to explain to people our educational methodology, our pathway of citizenship development. And as you know, right now in Europe, we are facing many challenges, and we have to diversify our opportunities to develop our sports, not just the sport high performance side, which is quite active, and we have an immense and specific, very well organization that makes Judo one of the top Olympic sports. But as you know, our grassroots clubs survive by developing other activities and other means of educational development. And this is why the European Commission has created Erasmus Plus line of financing and supporting of projects and related to sports being used under the community. And we are bringing this very long experience of clubs that around Europe are making applicants of different projects in different situations. And in this case, Mojmir Kovak has been directly organizing this JITA QA project that is already in its second phase. And now I will give the opportunity for Mojmir to explain and to interact with us how this program works, what were the main benefits of this program during this already almost 2 years of developing this amazing project. How is the project right now in this second stage with these new partners, having even the European Judo Union involved as one of the main partners, and why this kind of activities is now so important for us coaches and different clubs to develop, because our background is to teach techniques, is to to be a professor with educational skills. This other side of these Erasmus Plus projects is a new line of professional development, but for sure, Mojmir can explain to us with his experience how important that could be for our future. So, Mojmir, in the beginning of this workshop, you started to explain broadly what is the JITA QA project, how it was developed, but now you have time to explain a little bit better how it was born, how it was developed during its first um, project, and why and how did you decided to continue to a second stage, and what kind of goals are you aiming to achieve in this next project?
No, thank you for the time for present GTQA. The first, I want to congratulate with you and with your staff for a big and good project, and also for this important video from UNESCO. I think that we judo coaches and other judokas, we didn't know all the time that we are involved in one very nice and super sport, which is not only competition, but has a lot of other things with which we can educate other people, other generations, other young people. I will talk about GTQA and the values. My speech will be more general, not only about the project. We all know that judo is composed by Jigoro Kano. He opened his Kodokan Judo School before he was 22 years old. Judo is a skill that Kano put together from knowledge and techniques of various martial arts. Kano was not alone. He was helped by his students who were masters of other martial arts. In 1882, Kano only opened his school of jiu-jitsu, which he named Judo Kodokan, Kodokan Judo. But until 1922, he declared that judo is full, is perfect in both things, in technique and in philosophy. So judo itself was created as a product of mutual cooperation and joint growth. This, you will see later, that this is the meaning of GTQA. Man is different from the other living creatures. When we are born, we are not adept to any environment, and we would not survive without the help of others. We have no long hair, no clothes, no big teeth or wings. If we want to survive, we have to adapt to the environment. Even more, people are changing the environment to our advantage. We do this with technique. Kano not only changed the technique with which you can defeat the opponent, but he also changed the technique of teaching, education, the technique of understanding and philosophy of the martial arts. He changed jitsu to do. He changed bujitsu in budo. Kano has done us judokas a lot. He gave us two basic principles, Seryoku Zenyo and GTQA. And he put the ultimate goal of judo, that is self-realization of individual and his contribution to the development of society. We judoka therefore have important task to raise new generation who should be better than us. than we are us. Not only in judo technique, but also in behavior, communication, empathy, and active participation in local and wider society. Let me paraphrase the words of Kano. You can be a world champion, but if you don't contribute to the development of society with your knowledge and experience, your life was worthless. Judo clubs must be a place of communication and socialization, where young people should get or see their meaning, the meaning of their lives. The problem with today youngs they have is that don't have the goals. They don't know why they have or why should do something, and the values have become devalued. The values are changing, are not values for them are not same. They don't have same meaning what they have for us. Young people don't see the meaning. That's why many of them leave judo in the age when they should start with the real training. Coaches must be role models and mentors who accept young people as a people. Young people should not be a tool to achieve medals, but should be the goal. Judo is a tool with which the goal of self-realization as social useful person. Young people must acquire the identity of winners and the good people. Identity is something what other people see of us, is social recognition. Therefore, we must give young people the opportunity to be proactive, creative, and responsible. And this is exactly what judo techniques, and this is exactly what judo teach us. One of the basic judo principles is Jita QA. Jita QA can be translated as mutual prosperity for one and others. Masters to objective of life itself to achieve the self-realization of the individual being through work for the benefit of others. Or more simply, we have to set goals for self-realization, become expert in some particular field, to be proactive, to be responsible of ourselves, to others, and the world around us. Important is that being responsible is also means foreseeing the consequence of our actions. We must know what will be our action will be produced. With our knowledge and experience, we work for the good of society. Everyone at their own level and with their capabilities. For some is the local level, club, school. For other is the global level. Like you see, Mr. Brada, he work on the global level. Me, I work in my club, in my society. We see that Jita QA is not only focused on the narrow training of judo, but also on everyday life. Mutual cooperation for common growth is practiced at every judo training. Judo is not only a martial art, but also an educational method. It is necessary to live the principle of Jita QA in everyday life, at home, on the bus, the school, with friends, in the company. Do you still remember how a helpless person is born, and what with that without the help of others we wouldn't not survive? Man is social being and must live in a community from which he takes and gives. It is about transferring what has been learned in the dojo to daily life to achieve more just happy and proposers world. The only way to find happiness is by helping others. This is the true meaning of do, Judo, the path, the way, in direction where we want to go. Achieve individual integral development, helping others have the greatest tangible and intangible benefits. And because humans adapt and change the world according to our needs, the French judo masters are adapted GTQA and explained it with moral code. The moral code is composed from 8 values, and these values are courage, respect, modesty, or honest, friendship, honor, politeness, and self-control. These values we can explain in different ways. We can change, or we can behavior depends of what situation you are in, and then you can show how you understand some values. This code of ethics or moral code has also been adopted by AGU, European Judo Union, and also IGF, International Judo Federation, and also from many other national federations. We all talk about the values, but no one has taught us how to teach values. We printed a lot of different beautiful posters and we put it on the walls. But now is the time when we have to put the values from the walls on the tatami in the dojo. But the sad truth is that the values on the nice posters on the walls, that a lot of people they notice them there because they are there, and we go through and we don't see it, the posters. Therefore, today it is necessary to move the values from the walls on the tatami. Values are behavior. They are our response on some external stimulants. We can see how the people understand the values when we see how they behave on some stimulants or in some situation or some different action. How an individual reacts and a certain situation, this behavior tell us if he lives the values or not. The fact that someone knows how to list the 8 values of the moral code means nothing. If I know to say 8 values, blah, 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 yeah, it's not important because I must live these values. And for example, I can list all 8 values, I can say what they means, but if I doesn't stand up on the bus to other person, I didn't understood anything. And also, if I see the bullying in the school and I turn back, I also didn't understood the values, the principle of values. When we see something, when we are in some situation, we have to act. We have to do something what is right. We teach values by example. We are coaches and role models at the same times for our young judokas. They notice if we tell something, how to how to behave respectful or politeness. But then when we go on the competition, we behave like animals. We jump and we shout, and the young people saw this, and they understand that our words are not the same like our behavior. We judo trainer have to be a model and a role model with our behavior, both in the club and also in everyday life on the street. To these 8 values of the moral code in our project GTQA, we had added 4 more, which naturally combine with the principle of GTQA, because when we analyze principle of GTQA, we saw that it's more than only these 8 values. And we added proactivity. And proactivity is, I should share my skills and experience with society. I'm not only wait that somebody other change something for me, but I am the changing in my society, in my club, in my school, in my family, on the street. This is the proactivity. Self-realization. Only if I am successful myself, I can help others. I have to be good judoka. I have to understand techniques, philosophy, and other things. And with this, I can help other people. I can teach other people. If I don't know to do good technica or other things, I can be a good teacher. For this, if I want to change the world, I must be self-realized. I have to study, I have to work, I have to do something good, and then I can help others. Responsibility to me and to my partner in the judo training. Responsibility to the other people. Responsibility to do the things in the city, in the park, all around. But also responsibility mean that we must be aware of what our activity entails. I can run across the street with the red light. That means that I can come on the other side, but also some car can crash me. I must know what my action can produce. If I say something, someone can be okay, but also can produce angry. And the 4th is the trust. The trust must be in every movement in judo training, in judo practice, because I have to trust to my partner. Then when I fall down, I can stand up again. Safety and healthy. The European Judo Union Education Commission start this year with the value of the month combined, which I think that is very good activity and good thing, because this gives us the opportunity to work on the value with our judoka every month in the club. Because judo is not only uchikomi, randori, competition, but we say that judo is educational method. And we have to educate our kids, our young judoka, to be proactive, self-realization, responsibility, and they have to be good persons. And with month of value, I think that we have great opportunity to work on these values. Let me go back to the beginning. Young people must see the meaning in judo. They must see what they can do, because if I don't want to do competition, I must have something else to stay in judo. They must feel that they are important, and we must give them tasks with which they learn to live values in judo. We are not all for all. Not everyone wants to be a champion, but everyone can be a good judoka and a good person. Kano said, everyone must know their limits. Limits in food, in drink, in work, in sport results. Limits. Not everyone can be a judo champion, but they can be a good coach, guduke or educator, can be be an organizer. We need all these types of people in the club and in judo. We must be in harmony with ourselves and the world. And conclusion, judo is an educational method. Judo is a way of life. And we heard before from the Mrs. from UNESCO. Therefore, it is a pit and a big loss if young people leave judo because they not longer see the point or meaning in training and in competitions. It's big loss if the people who do judo 4, 5, 6 or more years with black belts drop out because they don't see anything anymore. We have to give them another opportunity, another goals, another task, another project. Let's introduce them to the moral code, introduce them to the GTQA and give them new goals and show them a new meaning in judo. To realize oneself, to cooperate mutual and to help the grow up the society. Thank you.
So thank you very much, Mojmir. Fantastic presentation. And
thank you.
Let me just tell you that, as you said, the European Judo Union has created this calendar of the judo values for the next year, the school year. So we already started with respect. And later on, I will share some of the content that is being promoted during this month of respect. But today is the first day of October, and we will start this month with one of the values that GTQA has in light coming from GTQA's principles, which is the value of trust. So thanks to this great project, this month of October, which is a very important month because it's the month of the birth of Jigoro Kano, and it's the month where we celebrate the anniversary of Jigoro Kano on the 28th of October. It will be the month of trust, and we will, like you said, take these values from the posters and from the walls and to practice it during the month in our sessions, in our daily life. And together we will make this as a goal of development in our dojos. So, Mojmir, I have some questions, some commentaries from the people who are joining us, and I will choose this very interesting commentary, which is, can you explain us exactly what is the role of the mediator and what kind of results did you have with this experience? Because it's very interesting position to use in our dojo to involve people in this process. So, Mojmir, can you share a little bit about your experience of these mediators and what kind of role did they have on the project?
Thank you for question. Yes, in the GTQA, in the project Erasmus project plus GTQA 1, we made this judo mediator. These are the youngsters from 14 till 21 years. Now in GTQA 2, we will do trainer of mediators and trainer of mediators, because the trainer of trainer is national coach in some national federation. I don't know, in Slovenia we will 2, in Portugal 4, in French, because it's bigger, maybe will be 20 or more. The judo mediator is somebody, is young people who don't, I don't want to say don't want to do a competitions, but who think that can do something else, not only competition, who the first have the educational program to understand what is judo, that is educational method, what is GTQA, what that means, and so on, and also moral code, but also other values, because we think we have one game, we call it Don't Lose Your Face, where it's a lot of situation in our daily life which we can do something for other people, but we turn and we go on the other side, and the problems rest there. This is in the school, in the club, everywhere. And in 20 hours, our young judoka, we teach them how they can teach other people values. The first, what is some values and how they can teach it. Because, how I said before, we can, if somebody knows all the values and can sing like a song, is not important, it's not true, because you have to show your values that you understand in situation, in the tatami, in the street, everywhere. And we have some role playing and other things where the youngsters search or thinking for some situation which were in a school, club, or they invent new situations, and then they say this is the problem, and this is the value with which we can work, and the answer is like this. And then we go through their story, their movie, theater, and they in this they can understand what is value, how we can teach, and how we can do with values. This is the point. Now in GTQA 2, we will do we done just in few days a program for teaching trainers of mediators, and also trainer of mediators, that we have all the vertical
hierarchy of education.
Yeah,
of
thank
the
you for the
members.
word. Yes, thank you.
Yes, fantastic. Yes, it's a very good point. So, Mojmir, as I understood, we are creating like a system that can help us to educate people to teach the judo values, and to receive education on how to develop the skills to teach the judo values. Is that correct?
So, yes, because sorry, we teach values. We teach values not like in school, mathematics or history or what, but we teach the values with our behavior, how I talk, how I communicate with other people, how I react in some occasion. This is how I teach young people the values. And that was normal process. But now the society is different because we have smartphones and we don't talk with each other anymore. And we have to take a time to explain to young people what and how to react, because in few years we will have big problems on the street, in the school, and everywhere. And also it's important that why we teach trainer of mediator, because the judo coaches must know, must understand that we are role models. The young judoka, they look us, how we behave, and how we behave, they will make a same. And we have to know what is right and what is not right, because how I said before, we are full of a month full of nice words, and then we go on competition and we are like animals in the on the competition. We shout, we jump, our referee is something, and so on. This is not good. And why we have to teach? Because we are so different culture from the Japan. In Japan, culture is this normal. They are all polite. They all read. They all help. In our Western culture, we are different because we have different basis of culture and philosophy.
Sure.
And all
Yes,
this.
yes, that's a very important concept to share with our colleagues, judo coaches. We are not superhumans. We need to continue to improve and to work our social skills, our values, because at the end of the day, we have a big responsibility. And if we don't train these behaviors and this ability to be a mentor in life, it will come a time that we will fail and that we will not be at the level that we need to be, because as you said, the example is the base. The example is the base of the commitment with judo values. Well, Mojmir, one last question for this project that I think it's quite useful as well, which is knowing that nowadays we have many judo school programs running in different public schools, private schools. Judo is becoming European-wide, worldwide, a very important and used educational tool. Would you consider that the mediators could become staff from the schools, from these public schools, that could interact with the school community and promote the GTQA code of values and to bring it on to the school system? Would you consider that a possibility for growing this concept and this project? This is one of the questions from our assistants.
Mm-hmm. All judo schools and judo seminars and other things in judo world, we talk much more or less about the techniques, how we can do taitoshi like this, from this aiotsu, kenkaiotsu. In the end, this is not important, because each judoka must find his way, because I have 1.60 m, you are 1.80 m, and you do your technique, your same taitoshi, your is different than mine. And I think that I'm very happy and thank you, because you made a video with this Mrs. from UNESCO, because we have to know that judo is different. It's different from the other sports, because all sports has rules, but judo has more rules, and these rules make us better people. And if we come back to the values are all around. All religion, culture, all talk about the values. But if we know that the values are important, if we know how to teach a value, we are one step before other, and we can go into the school with this philosophy of values, because today in the schools are the problems, are big problems. I don't know if you remember, but some time ago, 6 months ago, in one state here near us, one guy of 12 years come into the school with a pistol, with a gun, and he killed, I don't know how many people, 5, 6, his schoolmates. And this will become more and more problem, because youngsters, they don't have a value of responsibility. They don't know what their work can produce, because they are living in a video game. It's different. And if we do a good program with good story, we can go also in the school. I tried this, and the school chief said, wow, super, we can go with this, because values are important, not only for us, but also for other people, for to be better people, and to do better and happier work.
Very well, Mojmir.
Thank you.
I thank you for you and all of the team from Jita QA project, because as you said, we are living in a very special moment in society, and we really have to continue to work with the basis that we build up from Jigoro Kano's legacy. So we have to adapt the contents of judo to the nowadays society. We have to find ways to reach the children, to reach parents, because the values are the same. The philosophy of judo is not changing. We're just finding the right way to promote it and to reach it to the community. So, Mojmir, now it's time to share with our viewers some of the content that was made during this period of the European Week of Judo Values, and that were recovered from some of the material that the AJU is already developing, so we can reinforce the use of the best practices to continue to bring the values from the posters, from the wall of our dojos into daily life and the sessions. So in September, the month of the the value of the month was respect, which is very symbolically materialized in the bow, and not many people know, but the AJU has a mascot. Its mascot is called Balu. Balu is a bear, a Kodansha bear, a red and white belt bear. And I'm going to ask Susanna now to share with us the poster of the month, which helped us to promote this value, and that was being presented in all of the social media of the AJU, with specifics, recommendations, like Mojmir has already told us, how we can bring this information, bring this experience from the posters, from the wall into the dojo and to the daily life. Susanna, can you please share? This is the poster of the month Respect, and it has a brief explanation about this value and how can we apply it during our judo session. What is the difference between the way that judo uses respect compared compared to other sports, and of course, three best practices that we use during our daily life in judo, in life, that we can recommend, that we can practice with our young judokas, with the parents, and so forth. Going into the goals of this campaign, we want the community outside of judo to have access to these contents. You know, educational agents, people who are working in schools, people who are working with children, they have to use these kinds of tools that we have in judo so that they can also join us in this movement to promote the values during the whole year. And of course, because we have integrated the four values that the GTQA project has identified, influenced, and inspired in the GTQA philosophy and pillar of the judo philosophy, now we have 8 values from the Judo Moral Code together with these 4 values of the GTQA project. We have a full 12 months of opportunities to promote these activities with our young children. So now we're going to show one of the videos that the AGU has created to share with children, share with judo families and people all around the world. Even this week during our program, we had this main event in the 3 cities, Rijeka, Ljubljana, and the city of Loures in the district of Lisboa, where we also shared these videos with children, and they practiced different exercises and games related to the judo values. So now we are going to watch the video, the AGU video, with our Sensei Balu, the mascot of the AGU, with the value of respect. So let's check our video. So as you can see, we have to continue this movement. We have to continue to create these kinds of contents. We have to continue to inspire our colleagues, our coaches, to invest in this field of educational development of judo. And there are so many ways to do it. So now I would like to share with you some best practices that we can create with our events with children. So we have to, in some way, network with each other so we can find the right ways to promote judo in this age group. The European Judo Union is considering a set of events called the Get Together Tour, where we will have the chance to make different kinds of judo events that are not competitive, that are not competitions. And now I would like to show you an event that was made in Portugal. It was called the Respect Day. And this day, together with many children of judo on the tatami, we invited many personalities of the Portuguese society to receive symbolic white belt of GTQA. And it was interesting that when we are thinking, raising our thought about judo, we joined together. And as you can see, in Portugal, in Ljubljana, in Rijeka, and so many cities, everybody is thinking in the right way and how to promote the judo values. So I will give you the chance to watch this trailer of this event that was made in Portugal, and it was called the Respect Day, where different personalities of the society in Portugal had the chance to live not with a poster, not with a flyer, but in a real event to live the judo values and to receive a symbolic judo white belt with the GTQA philosophy of our sport. So please check this fantastic video. So in this event, we had the Minister of Sports, the Secretary of State for Sports and the Minister of Education as well, the Secretary of State for Health, many different actors and footballers and musicians. So we really congregated all different personalities of the Portuguese community around these principles, and nowadays they are ambassadors promoting the values of judo all around their daily life. So these are examples of how we can use these tools of education and to reach judo to a broader community of people that will help us to promote the judo values. In my opinion, I think it's very important, in the opinion of the people who are working within this European Week of Judo Values team project, these three clubs, Escola Nuno Delgado, GIB, and RSS from Slovenia and Croatia. For us, it's very important to promote judo values outside of the judo community. Of course, we, judoka, respect and have a great importance of promoting our values. But what is important for us right now as a strategy to continue to adapt to the new world and to society as it stands is to make people like the general director of the UNESCO to speak about judo. Also, during this week, we had doctors talking about judo, psychologists, physiotherapists, even we had leaders of religions discussing the values of judo. We had people from the Minister of Education. So these are the kinds of stakeholders that we want to involve to progress and to make judo a better tool for our society. And we're almost at the end of our workshop, and now it's time to present to you in first-hand platform where we will have an e-learning program dedicated to the judo values. This program will be available for all after the World Judo Day on the 28th of October. It will be an online e-learning program that will be also available in the AGU e-learning platform. And it will be prepared for us, judo coaches, of course, but also for parents and for health and education agents. I will have the chance to share the screen and show you a little bit of how this this platform is working, so you can have, you know, the idea of what's coming. And I will then share this screen so you can get in and see exactly how we are preparing this platform for you. As I said, this platform will be available in October, the 28th, for everyone to follow and to use this program. So, stepping inside the AGU educational e-learning platform, you will be greeted by Balul, our mascot, which will introduce this program of the judo values that has 3 different levels of contents, different videos from the people that are involved. And now you can check the different goals. We will have a survey assessment to understand how is your basic skills knowledge about the judo values. We will share with you annual pedagogical material of the judo values. Also, we will have some gaming situations, some gaming content, so you can play around with the values and its best practices, and of course a set of exercises that are tutorials for the different participants to use and to understand the possibilities of how we can use and promote judo. So this will end with the delivering of a handbook, a diploma, and also, of course, a message of our AGU representatives. So, as I explained to you, we will have this module for coaches, that coaches, our colleagues can enroll and follow the different instructions and make the course. We will have also a module for parents that will have the opportunity for parents to follow the different information and specificities of judo for these age groups. And finally, something that we feel is quite important, which is a module for education and health agents. Many times we feel that people that are working with children in education, for example, school teachers and assistants and people who work with children, even other coaches of other sports, they don't really understand the basics of judo. They don't really understand how the sessions are run, what kind of rules we have, that, for instance, we don't kick, how are the goals of judo, and so forth, as well as the health agents. Nowadays, as you know, children often have therapists, therapists for language, therapists for emotional development, therapists for dyslexia, the doctors that follow them in the hospital, or the doctors that follow their development. And many times we feel that the information that these professionals have of judo is not the accurate. So this program, the goal of this program is to give the right information so they can be aware of the benefits of judo. So this is a small presentation of how this program will work. I hope that everyone that participated enjoyed this 2 hours workshop, and that from the commentaries and the participations, I believe it was quite active. But as we are live on YouTube, I can also share with you that this workshop will be available and will be delivered to anyone who will be interested to follow it in another timetable, or just the chance of recovering some of the contents that were shared during these periods that we have been discussing around the impact of judo, the values, and health. So, my friends, Mojmir, thank you again very much for your participation. Let's keep following this amazing project of the European Week of Judo Values. As its first event ended, we are already thinking about next year, 2024 Olympic year. We're sure that many other countries will be involved. I wish you and your students and your coaching team a successful year, full of values, off the wall and off the posters. So once again, Mojmir and all the participants, thank you very much. And let's keep judo with all its values on the kimono. Also, I would like
Thank you, Nuno. Thank you for this. Sorry.
Also, I would like to say thank you to the team that was under the back office of this organization, Susanna, Ana Matias, and all of the people involved in this event. Mojmir, do you want to add some last words?
I only want to say thank you for this great opportunity to be in this great project, and also today with you and Brada in live stream. Thank you.
Thank you all, and let's keep up sharing the judo values in and off the tatami.